Ina, when I say fitness-minded, it doesn't mean do you think about fitness. It means you're actually doing some fitness. Ina,
It's
what are you
obvious.
doing?
It's obviously I'm fitness minded. I do 30 minutes exercise before the breakfast every day.
Now, when I asked Ina if she's fitness-minded, she said it's obviously, but we don't say it's obviously. It's obvious or obviously, but we never, ever, ever say it's obviously. It's obvious or obviously. And the reason she would say obviously is because she's a doctor and she understands the importance of physical fitness. I want to do these adjectives. The reason I want to do these, you'll be very surprised. If I would do this with students in the United States, they would struggle. Look at this adverb, mightily. If you struggle mightily, you struggle greatly. This is a nice word, struggle mightily. With this chart right here next to us, I'd like you to give me a sentence with the verb strengthen.
He was very strong and he can strengthen 100 kilos.
He can lift 100 kilos. He's very strong and he can lift 100 kilos. You normally strengthen muscles, so I strengthened, yeah, but you can strengthen other things. I strengthened my lower body over the last 6 months to prepare for the competition. Of course, in interviews, people ask, what are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What about weaken as a verb? This is the most difficult. If I say in English, I have a weakness for almond croissants. What am I saying?
You adore that.
I don't adore food. You don't adore food. Irresistible. It's irresistible. But listen, you adore people, or, you know, like how something looks, you adore it. Oh, I adore that. I adore that skirt or that dress. But you love almond croissants. You have a weakness for it. It's irresistible. What is your, let's practice this. What do you have a weakness for? And again, I want you to practice. I have a weakness for something. What is it?
I have a weakness for chocolate and sports.
Now, this is interesting, but you don't have a weakness for sports. You have a weakness for food.
Okay. I have a weakness.
Or clothing. I have a weakness for bags. If I see a bag I like, I've got to buy it. But you don't have a weakness for mountains. You don't look at a mountain and say, I have to have you. You're mine, mountain. You're all mine. But I'm sure you love the mountains, Paul. I don't doubt it. But you have a weakness for food, some types of clothing, or a specific color, maybe a bracelet or something. That's what you have a weakness for. These are advanced phrases that are really, so I have a weakness for is really nice. Watch this. I have a soft spot for. Now this, does anyone know the difference between a weakness for and a soft spot for? Because it's very different. Does anyone know the difference? You have a soft spot for chocolate, it means you're really fond of it. Or I have a soft spot for like Gucci bags or whatever. Listen, I have a weakness for means, if you use weakness, it means you have, when you're, if it's there, you buy it. You can't not buy it. You can't resist it. So a soft spot doesn't mean you're going to buy it, but a weakness does. It means you can't resist it. Normally, we have soft spots for people. So I have a soft spot for him. Weakness for food or bags or clothing or something. But soft spots can be for chocolate or something, but generally it's for people. I have a soft spot for him because, you know, he had a really difficult childhood. My soft spot is, listen to this, kindness towards, and then you've got to give us a certain type of people. For my soft spot is kindness towards homeless cats. The next one's short. Can you use short in a different sense? Now, short means not tall. That's what it literally means, but we use this in a lot of different senses. Can you give me a sentence using extended senses of short?
Short memory, can we use it?
Yeah, I've got a short memory. I'm short of or on.
on.
I'm short on time. So can we finish this conversation when we meet next? I'm short on time. What about short-tempered? If someone's short-tempered, what are they? How are they as a person?
Impatient.
Impatient, likely to get angry quickly. Do you know anyone short-tempered?
Oh, yeah.
Don't be so short. Don't, don't be rude. Be kind. Wow, what did he say? He was really short. I think he was angry at me. Let's continue.
See?
Let's go to thick. What do we use thickness for?
Thickness of skin, no?
Yes, it's possible.
Oh, the thickness of
Dermatology.
the skin. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Who's
It-
known in the animal kingdom as having very thick skin?
Elephant.
Rhinoceros.
Elephant.
Elephant, who else?
Rhinoceros, no?
Rhinoceros and hippopotamus. Hippopotamus have thick skins. Let me ask you, if I say that Olga is thick-skinned, what am I saying?
It's not sensitive, means.
Yeah, excellent. Both of those are right. Not sensitive, but not sensitive to other people's criticisms. It doesn't affect her. This is a really, if you're thick-skinned, it's a really good quality to have as a public figure. Because you're in the public, people are criticizing you. If you have thick skin, you don't feel their criticisms. It doesn't affect you.
It can be compared with the idiom from the previous lesson about ducks.
About
Water
that.
off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back. Exactly. Very nice. How many of you consider yourself thick-skinned? Most people are sensitive. Most people don't react well to, criticism, especially public criticism. That's one. Let's use thick. They're in the thick of it. They're in the thick of it. What does that mean, in the thick of it? I'm giving you I'm preparing you for the C2 classes. In the thick of it means that you're in the middle of it. You're really involved. You're really in the middle of it's maybe the most difficult period or stretch. Through thick and thin, I'm going to be your friend through thick and thin. Now, in some weddings, they say that you're going to love your spouse through thick and thin, in good times and in bad times. If you promise to be with someone through thick and thin, the thin times are the difficult times. These are the times when the friendship or the relationship are tried. If that tried, it means tested. See if you stay. Thick is the good times. This is really interesting. Thick are the good times, thin are the most difficult times. If someone he flattened him, that means he fell on him. So this means if you see he flattened him, this is what it means. Flattered him is different. We'll look at flattered. That means a big or heavy guy fell on a smaller guy and flattened him. So it's metaphoric. So honestly, he was flat on his back. He was flat on his back. If you hear that sentence in English by a native speaker, what do you think they're referring to?
Depression, to be in depression.
Yeah, if you're flat on your back, you're at the lowest point of life. You lost your job, you lost your wife, you therefore don't have any money. He just flat on his back. And honestly, it's hard, and we use another metaphor here. It's hard to pick yourself up again. When you're flat on your back, it's hard to pick yourself up again unless you have support. You need other people to help you. Doing it by yourself is really difficult. So if you ever hear this phrase by a native speaker, it's not literally he's lying down on his back. No, it means he's at the lowest point. It's a very serious point. Some people never recover. Others are more resilient. Resiliency, resilience, an adjective, is this ability to rebound from failure. To rebound from failure. When you get knocked down in life and get back up again, that's resiliency. They can't keep me down. They can knock me down, but they can't keep me down. By the way, a flat tire, do we know what a flat tire is? If you have a flat tire, it's never good news. What's a flat tire? Anyone?
Puncture, tire puncture.
Yeah, when your tire is punctured, that's a great word, Seni. When your tire is punctured, it means there's a hole in it. A flat tire is a tire that you can no longer use. There's no air in it. It's flat. Watch that. What is the context of this sentence? He came out flat. He came out flat. I'll give you a clue. It's in sports. If you come out flat, you start.
He lost.
What?
He lost.
Well, that's the result of coming out flat, but it means you start slow. You don't start your best. You make mistakes you don't normally make. He came out flat. So in basketball or any sport, if you come out flat in football, it means maybe you're not even getting close to the goal and they've scored 2. You just come out flat. There's no energy. Coming out flat means you lack energy. You lack this great edge. If you have an edge in your playing, it means you're doing well. They played with an edge. They were really sharp. These are positive now. But if you came out flat, there's no energy. I mean, what happened? Were you guys out partying last night or what? You came out flat. Thank you
Thanks.
all. And we're in touch. Have a great week and see you soon.